Yeah, the reason why it's slightly different is that some of Patterson, he bills us for like eyeball things. Like if he has to send a guy out here to do something, or he has to, typically it's parts, the guy replaces something, because he notices something's broken, so they charge us for the part. That's why it's not exactly a perfect.
I think that happened with the chlorinator, right? Was it
Yes.
a little meter?
Yes.
I didn't know if like summer salary came in here.
She's at the bottom. Payroll.
Oh, okay, so she's down here.
Where'd it go?
So up above administrative.
Yeah, so you can see, like, obviously, I think, as you know, Summer's had some medical, she's toughing it out. But, she's way under budget. And, that's pretty much straight up.
All right, moving on.
Any other questions, Liz?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right, moving ahead then. Next up is, what do we got next up?
Executive session.
Road maintenance. Okay, road maintenance. So what I did here was, again, road maintenance is kind of a running number. What I've done here is, for next year, okay, let me back up real quick. This road maintenance fund that we do here is an internal gentleman's agreement way that we decide we're going to work on the roads. This is not something which is binding. There is no resolution. There is nothing where the city council has said, these are the funds we're going to use for the roads. This is what you have to do. They're not legally restricted. This is something that was created years ago just to kind of give us some sort of off the balance sheet way to figure out a way to fix some roads. It's totally gentleman's agreement. The auditor doesn't look at this. It all gets folded into the city. It's all part of the city. But the idea here was originally that, how much money should you spend on repairs? You could spend unlimited. So how do we kind of impose some discipline? Well, the easiest way to impose discipline was just have money come into the bucket, and then whatever's in the bucket, that's all you can spend. I mean, that was kind of,
Saying, make decision.
yeah, that was kind of the discipline, was fund it with some extra money from some other sources, and then just spend whatever you got. No, you can't screw it up. Because at some point you got a limit. How much can you repair? You can repair everything. Well, we just don't have the money for that. Now, one of the things I've done here, you'll notice, is the sales tax. We take a portion, what we've done in the past is taken a portion of our city sales tax and stuck it in this bucket. For this budget, what I've proposed is we don't do that. Why I propose we don't do that is because our sales tax is down 40% and the city needs it. So that's kind of why I didn't put it there, was to keep the city whole. So basically, based on the numbers we see, these franchise fees and the roll-off containers, et cetera, we're going to end this year at about 10.5 is what I predict, another 9. I'm sorry, we're going to end the year at about 15 when we end September, another 9. So basically we have about 24 that will be in this fund in next year, with no projects identified. Well, okay, no, but nothing here.
Right.
Now, one of the things that Clint, we've talked to the engineer about is maybe doing the geotech work, do some boring for the concrete roads, use this money to do some boring, to get some stuff we can stick on a shelf. Because that's not gonna get stale.
So if we do the geotech now for the roads, for the future roads, it's kind of infinite shelf life.
Yeah,
And we can
you
do,
gotta do it anyway.
yeah, we can do survey a little early, but it's not, you don't want to do that too early. Geotech's one you can just get done.
So you don't plan on doing any patching,
I don't see any more
just
patching.
chasing your tail, you think?
Kerry Lane's got 2 new houses going in, Melody's got 2 houses going in, Stowe's got 4 houses going in. Those mailboxes, we're gonna have 8,000 cement trucks in the next year, all braking going down the hill, all accelerating going up the hill. The other patches are doing fine. The ones in front of my house are fine, the ones in Kerry, I don't have a problem with them. There's just no way, those mailboxes are, it's hopeless.
We
I mean,
still,
I have bags of asphalt, we're gonna throw in the hole, but, I think we throw in the towel.
Are we doing anything about moving those mailboxes on, High Ridge? I know we talked about that.
We talked about that, yeah,
I think we have it on the board, but I don't think anybody's actively.
yeah, I think we were gonna wait on land plan to kind of finalize the plat, I think.
Okay.
I mean, it's still out there. I still think it's a good idea. I'm not sure how to,
We're gonna move those just off the road more?
I think we, you know, I think
Place
it's,
to pull over?
exactly, have a
Yeah.
pullover lane, to me, that's, yeah, I think that would be good.
It would.
That's something to think about. Okay? But again, this thing here, this is just, you know, this is our own, so we can change this without actually changing, this is on the general fund. Okay?
So this is inside the general fund.
Yes. The auditor just folds it in. If we passed an ordinance that formally laid this out, then those would all be restricted funds. They'd be in a separate bucket on the balance sheet. Because now they only have a specific use. That's why this is a gentleman's agreement, because I didn't want to do that. Technically speaking, we could decide next month and say, take the 24 and put it in the playground. It's just a gentleman's agreement, this is what we're going to spend. Okay?
Mhm.
All right, next up we have debt servicing. Not much here, we're paying down the debt, everything's plug and play. This is just for your information. This is how, you know, everything's paying down. We make our next bond payment next week, we make our interest payment.
And there's no changes that would be made, that we can make here. We're not in
No.
the negotiation period.
No. The only thing I would point out here, just so, you know, is for next year, I'm sorry, do I have to say, can you scroll down? Okay. So for next year, we're going to start out with basically nothing in the account, because we're a little short right now, but that's going to resolve itself. That's easy. So basically for next year, we're going to have, we get about 51,000 is off the nickel. That's the debt servicing. So we're going to have to transfer $126,000 of our tax money to make the bond payment. Because that's our, you know, so that's kind of what we do. So we're taking, you know, the nickel only pays for, you know, about 40% of the actual bond payment. The rest of it comes out of our general tax fund. So we're very unique in doing that. Most cities would have passed that whole sucker on, and we'd have the world's best playground. Okay. All right, but anyway, just for your curiosity. Next year,
The world's best playground?
well, okay, maybe the peninsula's best playground. The other thing, just FYI, starting next year will be year 5, we can start paying off the bonds early. So there will be a decision to make next year, is if you want to make any incremental bond payments starting next year. All right, last but not least, we have the potential CapEx projects. We have a malfunctioning fire hydrant at Melody and High Ridge that we want to replace. Fans of fire hydrants might realize the fire hydrant costs have gone up. Part of that is because I hear there's some tariffs that have come on to steel products. And this is what's happening, is that's reality. So the price has gone up significantly on the steel that goes into fire hydrants. Sewer plant improvements we're working on, obviously the power, getting the power underground and moving the transformers. We're working on a master plan for the sewer plant. We're working on that. Clint and I are working on that. So,
If you need some help with that, let me know, I'd be happy to come in and,
okay.
I'd like to do it just to learn about it anyway, so.
Yeah, and again, the idea being just put it on the shelf, so we know where everything goes. Everything is set up for the expansion whenever it's needed. We've already got everything on the shelf, it's shelf ready. Because we don't have the funds to move stuff twice. Let's get everything where it needs to be and then leave it. So that's that. The interconnect, obviously we're not going to do it, but that's there FYI. That's the cost of running an interconnect out to the well.
And that's a legal requirement. We're not there yet, but
We're at
We're
232
about
or
20
so.
houses away or something like
Yeah,
that.
so when we get to 250, you either have to have a big diesel generator sitting there that we'll never use, or you just interconnect to somebody else.
So that's the law.
That's the law. At 250.
250.
So we still have time there, but this
How
is,
many houses are going up this year, you said? Two in Melody?
I know of 6. No, I know 8.
Right, so that leaves 14.
We're 230 right, we're 232 right now.
So that's 12.
And 8 more is 240. We got 10 left. But that's again a heads up. That's why we need to get that reserve fund, start getting it back up there.
So possibly next fiscal year, we're looking at making this expensive.
Right, now, here's the good news. This thing is to do it the right way, which is to also stub out things, put in some things for the development. The developer reimburses when that happens.
Right, that's the,
You know what I mean? It's-
Well,
We're
developer
obligated-
meaning
we're
the
obligated.
district, the school district, because that is,
Yeah, when that, any improvements we make on anybody's property, when it develops, they reimburse us. So cities always have the opportunity to put stuff in ahead of time to try and attract development and then get reimbursed. We don't do that as a general rule, because we don't have the money. But if we're gonna run it all the way there for our interconnect, which is our reason, then on the margin, you just put the 2 fire hydrants in that are gonna be needed to service the area anyway. You just make it shovel ready
Right.
and just get reimbursed later. So that's the worst case scenario, is those numbers. Okay. Potential town projects, this is what Clint and I have talked about, we met with the engineers, is doing some potential engineering work for the Concord roads. We can start that process at any time.
And that doesn't change where you spend on that, and the work that they do doesn't change whether we start on the roads this year, next year, or 4 years from now. It won't make any difference.
Exactly, I think that was the geotech. Is that about right, Clint?
no, it's 10 light, it's actually 40, but
Was it
to
4?
answer your question, Darrell, the sooner we have the geotech, the actual, we'll know a little bit better more of what the potential road cost could be. Because they gave a worst case, they gave an example of, I forget what city, it was Princeton, I think it was. They just did a road for Princeton, and the original road was, it went through a creek, but nobody knew about it until they got in, so they ended up putting in 3 feet of fill to get the road. So those are the kind of things we can find out from the geotech, is just what the worst case can be. So that's one of the reasons why I want to try and do that earlier.
So it'll help with planning no matter when the road's built.
Yeah. We'll know right away if we can stick to what we did over here, or we do excavate 6 inches of base and 6 inches of concrete. In the shore, there's a couple low-lying areas that could be potentially a little bit more costly to go fill and get compaction on.
And currently in the budget, there is no CapEx. The line's blank. So this is, we'll come back again next month and we'll agree what number to put in that line. And then that's what we go on. Okay? All right, that's all I got, I believe. All right. Any other questions? Any questions? All right. I don't think there's any urgency to go into executive session. There's been some development stuff, but it hasn't amounted to anything. Just people kicking the tires. Nothing serious. It's not worth talking about. Okay. What was that? What?
No, hold
What I hear?
on. Any staff comments?
I don't know.
Okay.
Am I supposed to have something?
No.
No, I'm just giving you the opportunity
Thank you.
if we're withdrawing.
Could actually stop a motion.
I
There's
appreciate
a
that.
motion in motion. One
I
can't
almost
stop.
always have
Okay.
something to say.
I think you're safe, Counselor.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor? All right, I think we are done at 9:28. That'll wake you up. Okay. Awesome.
I think it's.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
you gonna make it? You okay there?
I'll make it.
Eric, I like your comment.
You want to sleep?
You don't have to wear a tie either.